good endings, obviously, unlocking Waltz's good route, obviously, but also being able to unlock a good route without a single hint. So the only hints I've been relying upon excuse me, have been this one, have been this one, woo, there has been this one, words, this one blog, Autome Dream World, that has given me a clue as to how I should behave in this playthrough. So that's pretty much the only clue that I've been having so far. And I feel like I'm super close, but I just can't figure out what what do I use? Like what things do I keep in mind? Because I feel like in the beginning I made it. I feel like I was pretty solid. I think it was just near the end when Gennaro came into the picture. I think that's when I kind of got a little bit screwed up. So apparently there's one point where you do have to just that. There is one point where you do have to disobey Waltz's idea, and I may have picked the wrong point to do that. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know which point that was, but I feel like it was somewhere around the palace. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out in this playthrough, so that way by attempt 3 I will know for sure which one's supposed to be. So I'm gonna give myself 3 shots at this. So this is attempt number 2, so hopefully I will do much better. Side note: I'm gonna do a little bit of a I'm gonna do a little bit of a more of a fun playthrough as well, a little bit of a fun video as well. I've been following Sir Patrick Stewart's tweets lately, because his tweets have been just such a great comfort. And so far, three. He has skipped 3 sonnets. Number 5, number 9, and number 20. Number 20 was supposed to be yesterday, but it turned into 21 because it gave into a really interesting discussion about the other two. Like the last two that he skipped actually was pretty interesting about questionable writing practices. So that would be a pretty good debate that we can probably get into. Some people on Twitter were just not really like we're kind of wondering like how come he's not talking about it, and maybe because he just doesn't want to, because it's basically, I mean, he's a fan of Shakespeare, but I mean, and a big thespian. But ultimately, if he do, if he does not feel like he does not feel like talking about it, that's certainly his choice. So I'm going to talk about it instead. Plus, I was an English major in college, so it was totally right up my alley. So I wrote down the reasons why he skipped it. So far, it's only 3 sonnets that he skipped out of the 151 that he wrote. And number 5 is the one I'm more interested in, because apparently the reason why he skipped number 5 is because he considered it difficult to interpret. So I'm wondering if the world's best thespian turned Starfleet admiral can't figure out sonnet number 5, can a college major like myself figure it out? And a little bit of a twist. I actually couldn't get into Shakespeare's work for a little bit. I did enjoy Romeo and Juliet. I did enjoy Hamlet. I did enjoy most of the pieces um, that were kind of common, as well as some of the more unique pieces like Measure for Measure and Much Ado About Nothing. The latter of which I would totally love to star in personally if I became a thespian after I came out of this um, after I came out of this quarantine period. Is Measure for Measure and Measure for Measure, Much Ado About Nothing. Much Ado About Nothing in particular would be super fun to do. Romeo and Juliet, I think I'm past the age to be able to play that. I mean, granted, Condola Rashad was about my age when she played Romeo and Juliet on stage, but even so, it's very much about teenage love. I'm just too mature for that. Midsummer Night's Dream was one of my dream roles, but then college kind of killed it for me. So, but if somebody happens to offer me a role for it, I'd totally go for it. So that makes Measure for Measure, Much Ado About Nothing, um, Midsummer Night's Dream, and Antony and Cleopatra. Antony and Cleopatra. Granted, a lot of the anachronisms are going to irritate me to no end, but that would certainly be a fun one to do. That and one of my favorite actresses, Kate Mulgrew, also played Cleopatra. That's also one of her dream roles, and she actually did get to do it about 5 years ago, I think. and she was pretty good. So yeah, that's 5 Shakespeare plays I want to do. So that might be another side project. I know, completely unrelated. It feels somewhat unrelated um, to what I do on this channel. But on the other hand, though, considering that I am a nerd and this is a haven for nerds, I think it kind of works. So anyway, to get back into Cinderella phenomenon, in the last episode we got the bad ending called um, "The Boy and the Lost Girl," and the bad ending is known as a "Stolen Dawn." So basically, Hildur manages to basically brainwash Lucette, basically suppress Lucette's power, be able to fight back. So, can we actually get it right here this time? Let's see. So, let us start up the game, and we shall do take two. And I don't think I will fast forward through anything. I will still read through the story properly because some of my pronunciation was a little when I was reading it last time. So hopefully, I also been doing a little bit of vocal exercises to get my pronunciation just a little bit sharper. So, hopefully, some of the difference will make it a little bit easier for me to do the longer playthrough. So, on that note, let's begin our new route of Cinderella Phenomenon, which is the final route, which is Waltz's route. So we'll start from the very, 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 very beginning. So, yeah, very beginning. Let's go to the very beginning with the common route selection. Alright, here we go. Waltz, take two. It's chapter 3, Peter Pan. I decide I cannot waste any more time. The next day I search for Waltz as soon as the broom starts dragging me around. I swear I was just here a while ago. Anise, have you seen Waltz? Oh, I just saw him walk back inside. Okay, I was a bit too slow for me. Sorry. I find him talking with Parfait and Delora in the reception area. All of them are speaking in solemn whispers. As soon as Parfait and Delora notice me, they break off their conversation with Waltz. Both the witch and the fairy step away from Waltz. Excuse this. Sorry, I still have to change my voice a little bit for you. Excuse this, princess. I watch curiously as Delora and Parfait leave the room without another word to me. What were they talking about? Waltz turns in my direction and smiles. Morning, princess. I turn toward Waltz and watch as he begins to put some puppets on the table into a box. Are these toys yours? These? They're for a show I'm doing later. I wouldn't be playing with these things at my age. You look 12. I do not see how that is too old to be playing with dolls. I told you before, didn't I? I have the Neverland curse. But you never explained what this curse was. I'm actually older than you are. I find that hard to believe. You don't know the story of Peter Pan, do you? It's not my fault that Mother had all the fairy tales removed from the palace. When I do not answer, Waltz only sighs and gives me a small smile. I'll assume that's a yes. Peter Pan is a boy who lives in Neverland. It's a place where no one ever grows up. I'm stuck in a child's body as a result of my curse. I won't revert to my real form until my curse is broken. Then, how old are you really? I'm 22 this year. What? I can only stare in shock at Waltz's childish appearance. It is hard to believe that he's actually older than I am. I never liked being treated as a child. That's never changed. Even when I was a child, I didn't like it. But let me assure you that it is much more annoying being treated like a child by someone who's younger than you. Waltz straightens with the box in his arms. Now, if my princess will excuse me. He turns to leave. Where are you going? I have to do a show today. Waltz does so many puppet and magic shows. How will he help me break my curse if he's never around? I'll go with you. What? I might accomplish a good deed if I come to one of your shows. That's true, but... Waltz sighs. I'm not sure it's a good idea. There are bad witches out there. Oh? There's an evil witch right here in the margin, but no one's protecting me from her. Are you talking about Delora? Who else would I be referring to? Waltz stares at me for a long moment, eyes thoughtful. He sets the box down on the table again. Don't go anywhere. I'll ask Lady Parfait first. He leaves the room. I lean over the box on the table and see a pile of carefully detailed puppets. Everything looks handmade. I used to sew my own puppets before Mother found out and forbade me from making them. She told me that sewing was not something a crown princess should do. Interested? Waltz's footsteps are so soft that I don't even notice that he has returned to the room, until I see him standing before me. I step away from the box. How does he move so quietly? Permission granted. The show starts in an hour. I watch as Waltz sets up a small booth on the street where I first seen him with Emily. Back then, I never thought I would see him again. It's nice to see you actively trying to break your curse. I shrug. I'm not convinced that this will work, but Parfait said that if I partnered up with someone, I might be able to break my curse faster. So you chose to partner with me? His tone of voice startles me. It sounds both happy and sad. Was he lying when he said he wanted to help me? That everyone in the margin was willing to help me? Would you rather I pick someone else? No! I jump at his sudden reaction. Waltz awkwardly clears his voice. No, I'll do everything I can to help you. Waltz heads to the back of the booth. I begin to follow him, but I'm forced to stop when he holds out his hand. You haven't had enough training to become my personal assistant yet, Princess. What? I stare at him, puzzled. I never said I wanted to be your personal assistant. And training? Why would one need training to assist with a children's show? You need quite a bit, believe it or not. Yeah, gotta get it right here. Ears. Just be able to snag a good deed if you agree to become my assistant, you know. There's a teasing twinkle in Waltz's eyes as he waves me off. But until you're ready, you can stand with the children and just watch the show. I think you'll enjoy this story. I recommend getting a place up front. You'll be able to see all the action that way. When I do not move, Waltz sighs and smiles at me. I promise the children won't bite you unless you bite them first. Fine. That's my star. Star? He disappears around the back, leaving me alone. In no time at all, people begin to gather. Soon there is an impressive audience around Waltz's small booth. I look at the group of children that are clustered as close as possible to the front. They're all clearly excited for the show to start. I used to do puppet shows for my dolls too. I felt less alone when I could turn to my dolls and talk. And I'm still alone. Nothing has changed. I sigh as I sidestep to allow someone else to stand beside me. I'm surprised to see that person is an adult. I look at the gathering crowd of people and find that there is an almost equal ratio of children and adults. Why would adults be at something as childish as a puppet show? Hello, everyone! An excited silence falls over the area as Waltz's voice rises above the crowd. I, Waltz, am here once again to share another story with you. I hope you enjoy the show. Once upon a time, there was a village whose people were always happy. But one day, an evil witch found the village. The evil witch carried darkness deep in her heart, She was jealous of the townsfolk, who were filled with so much light and happiness. If I cannot be happy, the eagle said, then no one can be happy. How overly dramatic. I almost jump when I feel a tug on my dress. I look down to see a little boy pulling at the hem of my skirt, though his eyes remain focused on the puppets. I don't like her. That witch. She's bad. His grip on my skirt tightens. He's wrinkling my dress. Though we learned from the first choice, we found out that holding his hand was the thing, so... I reach out to pry the boy's hand off my skirt, but the boy moves faster than me. The moment I pull his hand away, he quickly refastens his grip, this time around my hand. Hey! The boy does not move his hand. In fact, his hold only tightens, so much so that I find it impossible to pull my hand away. There is no way I can make him let go without causing a scene. Now I'm going to be stuck holding the hand of a little boy I do not know until the end of the show. How did this happen? Darkness spread over the village. The people began to suffer. They forgot what happiness felt like. One villager decided to leave and find a good witch that would help save everyone from the evil witch. This villager knew that it would be very dangerous, for if he were discovered, the evil witch would certainly kill him and his family. But the man knew he had to try if he ever wanted to see the other villagers smile again. Many days later, the man finally returned with a good witch whose heart was filled with light, as the evil witch's was filled with darkness. Kind of funny. He's basically telling his life story as a fairy tale. That's interesting. The good witch, unable to bear the sight of the villagers suffering, decided to help them. She cast a powerful spell that would send the evil witch away and save the village at the cost of her own life. Once the spell was cast, the darkness disappeared from the village. To this day, the people of the village are said to carry the good witch's light within them, and everyone lived happily ever after. But aren't all witches evil? That's simply not true. I met a good witch, one with a heart more light and loving than any fairies. More of the children begin to ask questions. I sigh, unable to do anything except wait while Waltz is bombarded with questions. Thank you! The boy that took my hand gives it one last squeeze before running off to join his friends. What did he thank me for? Once the audience finally leaves, Waltz comes out from behind the booth and smiles up at me. The show was a success! Princess? There was a boy. He thanked me even though I did nothing for him. The little boy was with you? But you did do something. You held his hand. I did not want to. I realized that when I saw the annoyed look on your face. It would have been good of you to do it even if you meant to calm down. What? That boy was really frightened by the evil witch in the show. He thanked you because you held his hand and stayed with him when he was scared. Sometimes just having someone beside you when you're afraid is enough. Having someone beside you? I think back on all the times I felt scared. Mother always told me to hide my fear and to never cry because it made me appear weak. I could never ask for help when the king was never there for me. Every time I was afraid, I was always alone. I shake off the memories and realize that Waltz is asking me a question. What do you think of the show? It was short and simple. That's it. I created the entire show, you know. Story, characters, everything. It could have been better. You bullied me. Nothing more to say, and Waltz seems to start disheartened by my silence. He always complimented my stories, even when they were silly. Waltz telling me stories? Do I recall such a thing? It sounds as if we know each other for a long time. Before I can ask him for clarification, he changes the topic. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Do you mind accompanying me to the toy shop before we head back? Do I have a choice? Waltz's lips quirk with a smile as he picks up his materials. You might have fun, Princess. Come on. It's the shop I went to before I was cursed. Feel free to look around, Princess. I won't be too long. I nodded at him before walking over to the doll display. The dolls here are actually beautiful. But with the gold I have left, I wouldn't be able to afford even one. I miss my dolls. Papa! I want that one! The sound of a little girl's voice draws my attention. I look around the store before spotting a little girl pointing at the big teddy bear. She looks expectantly at the man beside her. That must be her father. The man shakes his head. His eyes fill with regret. We can't afford that one, dear. Do you choose something else? The girl looks like she's on the verge of falling. I back away, fearing the child might throw a tantrum. Instead, she rubs her eyes before looking up at her father with a small smile. I understand. The man smiles and pats her head. Thank you for understanding, sweetheart. Being so grown up. I only need you and Mama to be happy. I love you, Papa. I love you too. And I think it's also like this other thing that kind of in this period, like this is like before this went down. I think I definitely would feel for the girl, but now I'm even feeling for the parent as well. Because I think even now I'm becoming especially aware of the privilege that I have to be in this house, and then also for my family to be able to afford the things they can't afford. And I don't want to be arrogant and be ignorant of my privilege. I have to check my phone to the door for a little bit. Because there's some people who just can't afford the things they want, and I'm already, in some ways, I'm having a little bit of a taste of that as a grad student. I mean, there are some expenses I have to pay. Granted, some of it's on hold right now, but the fact that I have sorry, coworker. But yeah, just being aware of that and just treasuring your friends and your family is such a big deal right now. So I think it's making me reevaluate. has never once told me that he loved me. He'd be better off without me. Would I even belong in the palace anymore? Papa, look! The king! The moment I hear her say his title, I quickly rush from the toy shop. Hail the king! Hail the king! Long live the king! Hail King Gennaro! He's the first one I see, mounted on his favorite white stallion as he waves at everyone. I spot Ophelia, Rod, and Emmeline with him, mimicking his motions. The king used to invite me to join him before, but I always declined. He always went out alone. Once a month, the king sets out to check on the conditions of the kingdom in person. It's his way of bonding with the townsfolk. The order of Caldera trails behind the royal family with Cyril Castor at the head, but there is one particular person that is missing. It's strange that Fritz isn't here. The parade is an impressive sight. The crowds lining the streets become denser with each passing second. I weave around the mess of people in an attempt to get closer to the king. Thank you, everyone. He's smiling. A true smile. I've never seen him smile like that at me. A heaviness begins to weigh down my heart. It suddenly becomes harder to breathe. Please look this way. Please look at me. The king is looking happier these days, isn't he? I don't think I've ever seen him so joyful. It must be his family. Happier? All I want is for the king to look at me. To see me. But he does not so much as glance my way once. I stare at the ground with weary eyes. He's happy without me. I return to the toy shop with a heavy heart. The little girl from earlier is standing with her father by the door. He ruffles her hair before holding out his hand out to her with a smile. He takes it with a giggle, and the two walk off together. A heartache sings through my blood as I watch them leave. Is this jealousy? I reach up and clutch at my chest. My heartbeats feel painful. This is a terrible feeling. Princess? Reset? I stare at Waltz, temporarily stunned by the fact that he called me by my name and not my title. Are you okay? Despite myself, I found my eyes drawn back to the little girl and her father as they stand just outside the door to the toy shop. Princess? And I think I was honest here. I think I said I'm not okay. It's not like there's anything you can do to make me feel better. Waltz's expression slips. His chest leaves with a silent sigh. All I can do right now is try. Waltz's voice is a soft whisper, but I still pick up his words. All he can do right now? What is he talking about? Waltz's gaze moves to the set of teddy bears displayed on one of the shelves. He's quiet for a few moments before he speaks. He's affected by the curse. What? The king. If he can't remember you because of the curse, that doesn't mean that he never cared about you. That's the reason you look so down, right? I was looking outside. I saw the way you looked at him. Doesn't he know that it's rude to stare? Oh? How did I look? Hurt. I turn away before Waltz can see the frustration on my face. He loves you, you know. More than you'll ever know. How would you know that? You don't know him at all. Everyone has their own ways of expressing their love. I'm sure he has his own ways. But not being there when I needed him, he's never acted like a father to me. Princess, don't pretend to know what my life is like at the palace. Sorry. Don't pretend to know what my life at the palace was like, Waltz. This conversation is over. Let's return to the margin. Look what I drew! You're not meant to be in here. But I drew this picture of us. See? That's Mother and me. And you're holding Mother's hand. Go play somewhere else, he said. I'm busy. But you're always busy, Father. I just want to go to your mother. I'm sure she's looking for you. Okay. I'm vaguely aware of the moonlight in my room when I slip into bed, heart beating painfully fast. What was I dreaming about? I felt like I was dreaming about the king, but why now? A few days already passed since I saw it. I fall back onto the bed. I close my eyes and once again attempt sleep, but it hovers stubbornly out of my reach. What was that? Why am I making that noise this time of night? I step out of my bed and head outside to investigate. There's no one here. The sound? It's coming from the tavern. I think I said check? I slowly turn the knob and open the door. Hello? The broom begins to hop toward me. I begin to back away. It's the middle of the night. There's no way I'm going to sleep now. But the broom just hops past a tower behind me. That's some broom you got there. Waltz, what are you doing here? I couldn't sleep, so I decided to continue working on some of my puppets. But I accidentally stepped under the broom and it went berserk. I turned around and grabbed Mr. Broom, leaning it against this designated spot on the wall. But why are you here? I heard a sound. It's curious as always. That's gonna get you into trouble, you know. I don't need to be lectured by you. I apologize for waking you up. You should go back to sleep. I would not be here if I could sleep. I might as well stay for a while. If that is what you want. Waltz turns back to his puppets on the table. He leans down over the puppets, checking their seams. Since you're here, I think you can help me. Can I help you? What is it about this game of chameleons? What do you think of my newest puppet? I look at Waltz with surprise. With his eyes so wide and his lower lip jutting out, he almost looks like a puppy. Almost like a puppy begging for a treat. Is he expecting a compliment on the puppet? Well, I look closely at the puppet's eyes. It looks evil. Really? I'm glad to hear that. It's going to be the villain in my next show. Thank you for the help, Princess. I'm glad that my mentor approves. Mentor? Waltz doesn't answer. That's it? Indeed. I only offered an opinion, but he looks so happy. What a weird person. Waltz resumes his sewing in silence. He is very talented to be able to sew such a complicated animal. He has probably been doing this for a long time to be so skilled, possibly even longer than I expect, considering the nature of his curves. You look like you've got something on your mind, Princess. Well, you have never actually told me how to break your curse. Ah, I guess I haven't. Waltz clears his throat as he goes back to his sewing. I need to find Tinkerbell in Neverland. Oh, right, you don't know the story. Mother burned all the fairy tale books in the palace where I could read most of them. Nobody would tell me any of the stories. Mother always forbade me from talking about them. Peter Pan is the story of a boy who never grows up. He's accompanied by a fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and the two of them live together in Neverland. In my case, Tinkerbell is a key that can open Neverland. Neverland is a box, a family heirloom. My shadow is being kept in Neverland. That shadow is my magic. Once I get it back, my curse will break. Magic? I'm a witch princess. He says it so nonchalantly, like stating what his job is. He and Delora are the same? I have seen Waltz conjure flowers from thin air before, but I never associated that with the type of magic that witches do. You're a witch? A cursed witch? How is that possible? Only the Tenda Ballroom Bearer has the ability to curse another witch. That's why I can only do simple magic nowadays. If I ever want to cast proper spells again, I'm going to need to find Tinkerbell and Neverland. You don't know where Tinkerbell and Neverland are? No, I don't. Does that mean you're stuck in this form forever? How about a story? I feel annoyance begin to simmer inside of me. Why do you do that? You change the subject to purposefully avoid answering me. No, that's not it, Princess. I'm trying to explain, and I think a story is the best way for me to do that. I'm silent as Waltz reaches into his box of puppets. He pulls out two of them, then motions for me to sit in front of him. He holds out a puppet to me, and I can tell he intends for me to wear it on my hand. My feelings of the subject must show on my face, but Waltz is resolute. Please? I do not know what this will achieve. Maybe this way I'll finally get some answers. Fine. Waltz takes a deep breath. Once upon a time, there lived a princess who was always alone. She spent most of her time inside her room as her mother, the queen, forbade her from going out. The princess's only company were her dolls. But the princess so badly wanted friends that she would always sneak out of the palace to play with children who lived in town. It's as if he's narrating my childhood. How do you... But Waltz continues speaking as he does not hear me. One day, the princess met a boy. The boy was a few years older than her, and he was the queen's faithful servant. The boy could see how lonely the princess was, and his heart ached for her. They became friends. Every day he would sneak into her room and would play with her. He spent 2 years like that, until the queen found out. The boy was sent away, and never saw the princess again. Until a short while ago. I stumbled back and the puppet slides off my hand as I stare at Waltz, my mind whirling. We've known each other for a long time, Princess. This cannot be true. Waltz looks at me again, his expression full of melancholy. I always see that look. He wears it even when he's happy. He seems to carry that sadness with him wherever he goes. We were friends. I never had any friends. I would have remembered. That's what you remember. Your memories have holes in them. Gaps that you can't explain. How do you know that? Because I was there when the queen ordered that some of your memories be erased. Mother? But why? I don't believe you. I don't believe any of this. I didn't expect you to believe me. Why is he looking at me like that? Looks like he's in pain. But he cannot be telling the truth. I stand up straight, my hands clenched into fists. I'm going back into my room. I must run through the tavern area. If Waltz does not try to follow me. Waltz's words live persistently in my mind. We were friends. I sit on one of the chairs in the reception area, trying to put my thoughts in order. There is no way that he was my friend. Oh? What's this? What a delight to run into the princess at this hour. But I must ask, why are you still awake, darling? I jump at the start of Karma's voice. I turn to look at him. Karma frowns at the expression on my face. You look like you've seen a ghost. I can only stare at him in response. Oh my! Is my beauty so captivating you to find yourself at a loss for words? No, I was just thinking. About how beautiful I am? His ego knows no bounds. I roll my eyes and change the subject. What are you doing up this late? A nighttime stroll? I found myself filled with ennui. Right. I'll go and retire for the night now. Have a good sleep. It will be another long day tomorrow. You do not have to remind me. You still have a ways to go before you get used to the commoner's lifestyle. I certainly struggled with it. Karma barely works. I only ever see him slack off. Sorry, coworker. Trying to explain the terms of our package that the university got. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted nowadays. I don't know what it is. I'm usually able to fully focus on reading it. This time I've just been so distracted. Karma barely works. I only ever see him slack off. But wait, are you a noble, Karma? Perhaps. 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 Goodness, he just loves to play. He's going nowhere. This tavern is full of secretive people. I wonder if this lifestyle has anything to do with his curse. I'm not planning to get used to the commoner lifestyle. I will break my curse as soon as possible. Seems like we both have a long way to go before that happens, Princess. We don't want to play with you anymore. But why? We're friends, are we not? Friends? Who said that? You did. We were friends until you stopped sharing your toys. But that's because you still haven't... What? You haven't returned the toys I gave you. Return them? You gave them to us. No, I did not. Let's go play with our real friends. Yeah, our real friends aren't selfish. I warned you, dearest one. Didn't I tell you? People will only hurt you in the end. That's why I forbade you from playing with those children. I only ever want what's best for you. I'm sorry, Mother. I'm so sorry. Hush now, dearest one. Mother won't let anyone hurt you anymore. So, okay, chapter 4, family. So this is the part that I kind of find a little bit confusing. So, is that so, number 1, did that scene happen before or after her memory wipe? And then number 2, did Lucette give them, like, as a present? Or did she just give them for them to borrow it and then supposed to give them back? Because if it's the latter, then yeah, Lucette was not at fault there. Was totally not at fault right there. But if it was a gift, if it was an actual giving away, then yeah, she totally should have seen that coming. But something tells me it must have been. Something tells me it must have been. It must have been the former. Oops, sorry. Ooh, okay, I'll start from there. All right, Chapter 4, Family. 3 weeks have passed since my encounter with the king. I'm once again in town with Waltz as he prepares for one of his shows. I've already lost count of how many of his shows I've watched at this point. The excursions have become part of my daily routine. Waltz has been insistent on training me as his assistant, so I've decided to play along. Even now, I'm helping him construct his booth. He refuses to let me carry anything too heavy. I've experienced so many new things these past 2 months. Things I've always wanted to experience, but I've never told anyone about. Somehow Waltz knew about all of them. Even when he told me that we were childhood friends and insisted that my memories of him had been erased, I hadn't believed him. But now, I'm beginning to believe that he is telling the truth about this forgotten friendship. Oops. You used to dream about getting out of the palace to see Angel. And now you're here. I can't imagine how happy I am I can finally fulfill all the promises I made to you. I still have reservations about believing your story, but Waltz, even if you did know me a long time ago, I am not the same. I hand him the small curtains for the booth. My head dips so I do not have to look him in the eyes. I'm not the child that you used to know. I know that. But I also believe that the girl that I knew all those years ago, the one who was always so happy about the smallest things, that kind, sincere girl, she's still you. How can that be when I don't think I've ever truly known what happiness feels like? After Waltz hangs the curtains, the booth is complete. I expect him to step out from the side as he always does, but he sets his palms down on the table instead and looks at me. When I saw you again that day, I was so happy. I thought fate had brought you back to me. Waltz's voice is very soft when he speaks, but then you still didn't recognize me. Waltz's voice trails off and I frown. There's still so many things he's not telling me. Eventually, Waltz picks up this box of puppets and smiles at me brightly. Eventually, Waltz picks up his box of puppets and smiles at me brightly. Anyway, I've got a show to perform. Don't go anywhere. I notice his smile does not reach his eyes as I watch him walk away. I look out at the crowd that has gathered for the show. There are a lot of families here today. I watch as 2 families approach each other. The adults begin to converse with each other while the kids run up to front of the crowd to catch a better glimpse of the show. Some of the children have shoes, but the parents are barefoot. All of their clothes are dirty and torn. Their lives are clearly hard, but they're still smiling. I've never been in desperate need of clothes or food. I've never had to work for anything. I should have been happier than these people when I was a princess. But now, I'm beginning to see that the material things that I had were never enough to buy me true happiness. And that's also what I'm realizing too. I mean, no matter how many new computers that I get, no matter how many consoles I'm able to afford, no matter how many things I have, it just... The one thing that I've been reassured is just being able to see my dad or my mom walk through the door every day. Like, that's the thing that truly matters to me. Hello, everyone! I take a step off to the side as Waltz begins his show. Waltz weaves his stories as seamlessly as he always does, captivating his eyes with every word, but I'm not paying attention. My focus is locked on the two families sitting near me. When I see these people, I can't help but wonder, what kind of life have I been leading? Waltz's show is a success yet again. He's smiling from ear to ear as he counts the coins he has earned as a reward for his good performance. You look happier than usual. I am. I've been saving money for a special toy and now I can finally buy it. He says he does not like to be treated like a child, but he gets so excited whenever he mentions a new toy. I pause at the sound of laughter and look up to see a group of children talking excitedly to each other as they approach Waltz and I. This might be an opportunity. An opportunity? Making his children happy might be a good deed. What? Waltz ignores me as jogs up to the children. Waltz! The group of children swarm him, honking loudly as they each try to cling to him in some manner. We've been waiting forever for you to come back. But I was here a couple days ago. We didn't have time to play. Can we play now? Please, please, please? We've been good just like you told us. The boy looks around with the group of children and they all nod their heads with eager agreement. Well, if you've been as good as you say, how could I say no? The children cheer. I'm going to start counting now. Come on! You will find us this time. The children disperse around the area. I watch them go with disinterest. That's your cue to hide, Princess. What? Why do I need to take part in this? You don't want to play? We used to play hide and seek all the time. I am fairly certain I never played a game like this with anyone before. Is this another memory that was taken from me? Big sister, play with us! A little girl runs to me and begins to pull me along with her. Hey! I look at Waltz, but he only smiles at me. It seems like I don't really have a choice. Waltz turns to face a wall. He covers his eyes and begins to count. Before I can react, the little girl has let go of me and is running off. What is going on? I turn and see a boy hiding behind a barrel. You have to hide before he finishes counting. They didn't even explain the rules of this game. How is he supposed to know what to do? I look around me to find places I might hide. Maybe behind the tree? Behind the fountain would also work. Or those wooden crates. Which one of these should I hide in? So I think last time I did behind the fountain, so this time I'm going to do behind the wooden crates. Ready or not, here I come. I cannot believe I am sitting on the dirt to avoid being seen. Okay, so we got a little more diversification in terms of dialogue. My dress is getting soiled because of a child's game. Found you! Ah! My heart begins to race. I turn to him, but I realize that Waltz has found one of the children. Oh, it wasn't me. Wait, why am I worried about being found? Got you! Every so often I hear Waltz proclaim that he's found someone, but he still hasn't found me. Do I get something to win this game? Wait! Did this change the entire thing? Because it showed 3 places, so like, the tree is too obvious. The fountain, it works for a good while, but I think she was like the second or third person to be found. But behind the crates, that's the lowest she could go. Did this make the difference? I feel ridiculous now. Wow. What if this was a thing that I totally missed? Did I basically get a bad ending because I played hide and seek wrong? I don't know. We'll find out. Do I get something if I win this game? I still haven't found Big Sister yet. You're right. Where could she be hiding? This is quickly becoming boring. Found you! I jump when I hear Waltz's voice behind me. He looks down at me in triumph. You won, Princess! I won? Looks like you're an expert at this game. So yeah, turns out, this might be the difference. I'm not. The just did not look hard enough. It doesn't change the fact you still won the game. You should be happy. Great job, Princess. Waltz pats me on the back and smiles once again before he turns his attention back to the children. He is right. His praise makes me feel strangely happy. Why? I'm gonna save here, because that is noticeably different right there. Alright. Right, everyone! That's it! The children begin to whine, clearly disappointed. Aww, we only played one round! Don't be like that. I promise to play another game with everyone soon. Now run along. I'm sure your parents are all looking for all of you. One of the children, a little girl, puts in my sleeve. Thank you for playing with us, big sister. Please come again. She smiles up at me before skipping away to join the rest of the children. All the children head off together back toward the residential area of the town. They like you. How do you know that? Did you see how happy they were when you joined in? Children are so easy to please. That's why I envy them. Adults aren't like children. They worry too much and don't appreciate the small joys in life. As we grow up, we forget how to be happy. Forget how to be happy? Waltz may be right about that. When I was younger, my dolls brought me so much joy, but now? Anyway, since you won, you deserve a treat. A treat? You'll like it, I promise. I sit on a wooden bench, waiting for Waltz to return. He said it would be easier for him to go alone, because he wanted to surprise me. I did not protest. I've been on my feet all day. I never thought I would be running around playing with children. I wonder what this treat is going to be. Every time we come to the plaza, it's always packed with people. Most of the popular shops are clustered in this area. I observe the town quietly, before my eyes land on the statue of the king. He looks noble, riding a rearing stallion. The sight makes my heart twist uncomfortably. I'm pulled out of my thoughts and the child trips and falls in front of me. He begins to cry. Should I do something? Before I can react, a man and a woman are there, pulling the child up. The man takes the child in his arm as the woman grabs his back. There, my love. Mama and Papa are here now. I watched they slowly walk away, the mother still crooning to her child. My mother would always get angry at me if I was about to cry. I wonder what it's like to be comforted like that. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you okay? I keep the family in sight as long as I can before turning to Waltz. I'm fine. Here. What is this? A candied apple. A long time ago I promised I'd bring you one, but I wasn't able to keep that promise. So I'm fulfilling it now. I do not recall such a promise. I twirled the candy, inspecting its glazed and shiny appearance. I didn't know you could make an apple look like this. I promise there are no poison apples here. These ones are just sweet. I sniff at the candy. Sweet. I take a small bite. Well, I became so immersed in my taste test I did not even hear Waltz. The candied apple tastes nothing like I've ever tried before. This is good. I take another bigger bite. Is that a smile I see, Princess? Oh, what? I wasn't smiling at all. Was I? When I get some extra money from my shows, I'll make sure to treat you again. I have lots of favorites to show you. There are many more desserts like this? Of course. I'll make sure you try all of them. Waltz stands and moves over to a trash bin so he can dispose of his finished apple. It's getting late. Let's go back to the market. I want a candy apple. That's something I hope I'm excited about is carnivals. Anyway, the next few weeks become a blur. I continue to help out in the tavern while sometimes accompanying Waltz for his shows. The Waltz continues his lessons on goodness. I've yet to gain a single good deed. I'm slowly starting to lose hope. It's been months since I was cursed and I've still yet to complete a single good deed. Today I've been assigned the task of serving marching customers. I honestly preferred my duties with Mr. Broom. At least I do not have to mingle with all these people. I only just enter the tavern when I freeze at the sight of a familiar face. Fritz? His posture is stiff. His arms are crossed and he's obviously uncomfortable. What is he doing here? How did he get in here? I walk toward him, but I do not get far before he is in front of me, down on one knee with his head bowed. I finally found you, Your Highness. How does he remember me? How did he find me? Fritz? Princess, I have no idea what is happening, but the whole kingdom? Everyone's completely forgotten you and let's go somewhere else to talk. I interrupt Fritz when Ono is on the stairs and around the room. Not so fast. Seemingly from nowhere, Jurian and Garland are in front of me, separating me from Fritz. Hey, Jurian? Sir Garland? I was told you left NGL. What are you two doing here? I can ask you the same, Sir Fitzgerald. What are you doing here? Fritz at a loss for words and stares at Jurian, confused. Answer the question, Sir Fitzgerald. What are you doing here? I'm clearly reaching the end of my patience. Just let me talk to him. Neither Jurian nor Garland back down. If anything, they only look more ready to draw their swords. I don't trust him. As I look at the three of them, I remember the story of Jurian and Garland's dismissal from the Order of Caldera. Alcaster was the one who dismissed them, so perhaps they hold some type of grudge? It's because Fritz is Sir Alcaster's son. I do not know why you do not trust Sir Alcaster, but Fritz is a completely different person. He is my knight. He would never harm me. You have a reason for doing this, Princess. I sigh, rubbing at my forehead with my hand and trying to dispel an impending headache. I swear, you all are looking like a bed of snakes. Stop hissing at each other. Delora walks in from behind me, swatting at Jurian and Garland from front. Smiles at Fritz before turning to me with the same smile at Jurian and Garland. If you are so concerned, then feel free to chaperone the princess with her knight. I'm sure the two of you can handle it if he tries to do something funny. Fritz's voice is quiet when he speaks. You'd know that I would never hurt her. Fine. I glare at Jurian and Garland when we are in the reception room. Thankfully, they take the hint and retreat to the opposite wall, far enough to give Fritz and I some privacy. Fritz speaks as soon as I sink into a chair. I haven't seen you in 4 months, Princess. It's been that long already? Did you know how worried I was when I woke up one day and realized that Princess Emmeline was in your place? To make things worse, no one remembered you. Not even the king. When I brought up Crown Princess Lucette, everyone thought I was delusional. Where do I even begin? I decided to start with the facts of my curse and how I meant to break it. So you have the Cinderella curse, and that's why the reason you're bringing them back. So you have the Cinderella curse, and that's the reason you've remained in the marching? Yes. And you need to complete 3 good deeds to break it? That's right. And how many good deeds have you accomplished, if you don't mind me asking? I frown and shake my head. None. I do not think I'm capable of doing good. Of course you are. I look up in surprise at Fritz's compassionate declaration. Let me start with this. I knew even when we first met that I was not what you were expecting. I wouldn't be surprised to know that I even disappointed you. But you never said a word of complaint. Even in the beginning when I made lots of mistakes. You both know how clumsy I was in the beginning. There's kindness in you, Princess. I know this for a fact. Even when I look away, I can still feel Fritz's eyes and smile directed at me. Anyway, so if everyone has forgotten who you are, how is it that I can still remember you? There is only one reason that makes any sense, though it brings up more questions than answers. Those who have the fairy tale curse are not affected by the conditions of another person's curse. Wait, are you saying that I'm cursed? Unless you're secretly a witch or a fairy. No, I'm definitely human, I can assure you all of that. Well, what about Lady Jurian and Sir Garland? Jurian speaks from the corner of the room. Though the Knights have been feigning disinterest, there's no doubt they're listening in on our conversation. We aren't cursed, so unfortunately, we don't remember Princess Lucette being, well, crown princess. We only found out when she came here. I see. Fritz's distress is apparent as he looks grimly down at the floor. He hasn't admitted to having the curse, which means he either doesn't know he has it or refuses to tell me. I can't believe this. How could I have the fairy tale curse and not know about it? Have there been no differences in your life lately? I suppose I've been more forgetful lately. Does that count? You've always been forgetful. I know. Fritz's posture stiffens as Jurian walks towards us from the other end of the room. Her arms are crossed and her gaze directed at Fritz, filled with suspicion. How are you able to find this place? Fritz looks back at me as if asking permission, and I nod. I've been dispatching scouts throughout Angel to look for the princess ever since she disappeared. A girl matching your description was seen in this area, entering this house. When my scouts entered this place, they found it empty and abandoned. I figured this was as good a place as any to start looking for traces of her. Though I was expecting an empty house, not a tavern full of people. Only those with the curse are sort of creative people such as Jurian and myself enter this place and see it for what it is. So I really am cursed then. Fritz is silent for a few moments as he considers what was just said to him. That does explain things, though not as much as I'd like. Fritz stands. I still have many questions to ask, but I'm expected to be back at the palace. Fritz turns to look at Jurian and Garland. I do not know why the two of you are here, but I'm glad that you are. And then I can trust you to keep the princess safe. Please take care of her. You don't have to tell us twice. Fritz smiles in reply before turning once more to bow to me. Until we see each other again, princess. A week goes by after Fritz leaves the tavern and my look does not change. I'm still unable to complete a single good deed. I want to ask Parfait if she knows anything about Fritz and his curse, but she has been absent from the tavern for more than a week. When I asked Allura where Parfait was missing, all the witch said was that Parfait was busy dealing with the rapid spread of the fairy tale curse. Today I'm accompanying Waltz to the toy shop to buy materials for his upcoming show. Now I cannot find him. He was by these shelves earlier. Why was he gone? I turn a corner and my gaze is caught once more by the dolls on display. One particular doll catches my eye and I cannot help but marvel at its beauty. If only I had enough money to buy you. I notice a man standing just to the right, in front of the teddy bear display shelf. Isn't that the father I saw with his daughter a few weeks ago? He's looking at the teddy bear that his daughter wanted, the one that he did not have enough money to buy. I watch as he opens one of his clutched hands. There's some gold coins in his palm. I glimpsed at the price tags of the teddy bears earlier, and I'm certain that the man does not have money to afford the one he's eyeing. I thought I had saved enough by now. What do I get her for her birthday? The man heads for the next shelf over. He raises a hand to rub at the back of his neck. I walk over and pick up the bear the man was just looking at. It is very soft and somehow comforting to hold. I could see why the girl liked this one. I begin to move toward the counter without realizing. I hold the teddy bear to me with one hand and reach for the bag of coins in my other. The king gave me this money all those months ago, but I never used it. If I buy this bear, I'll be completely broke. Miss? Could you wrap this for me? Of course. After she has finished wrapping the bear, I turn to search for the father. It seems he is no longer in the shop. Has he left? Wow. That's a big toy you got there. Waltz appears with a bright smile on his face. He leans forward to inspect the package I'm holding. I need to find him. Who? I'm sure he hasn't gone too far yet. Hey, wait! Where is he? Princess, where are you going? I forget what I said here, but I'm gonna save around this spot again. No, not anymore. I'll stay over here. Okay. I think I said there's no time to explain. Okay, I'll explain. Someone I need to find. Did you happen to see the man eyeing the large teddy bear earlier? I think I caught a glimpse of him. Why? We need to find that man. I must give this to him. I'm about to run off into the crowd, but I feel the Waltz's hand on my sleeve. I turn to stare patiently on him. I find my annoyance dying at the expression on his face. Look, I'm not entirely sure what is happening, but I'll help you. But you have to stay with me. You shouldn't be separated in this crowd. Fine. Waltz keeps pace with me as I almost break into a run. It will be difficult to find that man with all those people around. But we should at least try. Waltz and I search for hours, but we never find him. Didn't even know his name. We could try again tomorrow. It's gonna be dark soon. But it's her birthday. Who? I ignore Waltz. In the brief second that I close my eyes, I see that man's pain expression in my mind. I sit down on the bench and clutch the wrapped bear to my chest. He wanted to buy this bear for his daughter's birthday. Because he loves her. I feel your ache flares up in my chest. I've spent my whole life wanting the king to treat me the same way that man treats his daughter. You said. I promised you would look again first thing in the morning. Waltz and I head back to the march-in, but the weight in my chest slows me down. It's not like you to be this sad for a stranger. You've changed. Have I? Welcome home, Papa! The girl's voice is familiar. I whirl on my heels and stare at the little girl in the doorway of one of the homes. I thought we were too late, but we found them! The little girl runs from her home to wrap her arms around her father. He picks her up and pulls her into a tight hug. Sorry I'm late, sweetheart. But you're here now. Mama! Papa's here! We can start my birthday party now. The girl wiggles out of her father's embrace and runs back into the house excitedly. The man is carrying a small box in his hand, wrapped neatly with a ribbon. He looks down at his gift and sighs. Before he can go inside the home, I walk toward him and tap him on the shoulder. Excuse me. You were in the toy shop earlier. I was. We've been looking everywhere for you. For me? He looks first at me, then at the package I carry in my arms. Can I help you with something, miss? I heard it was your daughter's birthday today. She's turning 7 today. But why here? This is for your daughter. This is the toy you wanted to buy for her. Take it. No, I can't possibly. Just take it. The man seems to be in too much shock to reach up for the teddy bear. He shakes his head in wonder. You don't even know who we are. Why would you do something like this? I've been asking myself that all day. You love your daughter very much, don't you? She's my life. She and my wife. But I cannot pay you for this. Papa? Why are you taking so long? The girl is suddenly at the door again, her wide eyes staring right at me. Who are you? The little girl clings to her father's legs. She looks curious, but not afraid. I do not know what to say. This pretty lady here is your fairy godmother, little one. I turned to glare at Waltz. What is he playing at? Fairy godmother? Like the one in Cinderella? Yes. I shoot Waltz another warning look, but he only grins at me. She's come to fulfill your birthday wish. Isn't that right, my lady? Okay, so this is another debate that I had. Was it better to play along, or is it better to tell the truth? Because playing along would make her day, but then on the other hand, though, I think part of it was be honest, so telling her the truth would be fine, but I am so unsure. I could have gone wrong in the very beginning and not know it. But you know what? I need some food. I'm a little bit hungry. So, rest assured, I will be playing more of it later on tonight. So, yeah, I'm gonna play more of it later on tonight. So rest assured, there's more Cinderella phenomenon coming up. So here's my social media right here, in case you want to chat with me and all that stuff. I've been taking a little bit of a break of social media. Like I mentioned earlier, the most I've been doing is maybe like Patrick Stewart's reading of sonnets online lately. It's probably the most I could probably tolerate right now, but I'm hoping to be able to interact just a little bit more. But anyway, that's all my social media in case you want to check it out. I also have a Discord server, so in case you want to, excuse me. In case you want to chat more beyond the stream, you could join up. Links in the description of my YouTube channel. Together with my shop, which is also in the description of my YouTube channel. So my next Write With Me, I need to edit that actually. I thought I saved it, but I didn't. My next Write With Me is actually on, let me choose. Oh, it's because I restarted my computer, that's why it didn't save anything. So actually, my next Write With Me for Camp Nano is tomorrow. So, in terms of my codes, yeah, the super one is officially done as of today. So, but the Ostara one is still good. So if you want to type in that code, you will receive an extra reading, which is good. But like the code itself is good until May Day. But let me get more specific here. Alright, so let's get a little more specific. So basically the code's good until May Day, but like the offer is good until summer solstice. So you basically have an entire season to basically redeem both these codes. So yeah, so if you didn't redeem the code by May Day, sorry, not gonna be able to do it. But if you redeem it by or before May Day, then you're good. But you do have to redeem before summer solstice. So if you put the code in, but you didn't redeem it until after summer solstice, sorry, the code's no longer good. So that's basically how it works. I'm also going to be in O'Doon Day in Philly, June 14th, unless the date changes or something otherwise happens. And of course the Renaissance Fair, with good discounts to those who are in costume. But yeah, until next time, everybody, please stay safe. Keep calm, be aware, and of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Until next time, everybody, this is DJ MK signing out. Bye, everybody, and I'll see you later on tonight when I actually have food. So, yeah, take care, everybody.